Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, teachers, principals, and educators. It is a pleasure to be here again with the homework app, given me opportunity to be with all of you and discuss a very important point. The topic is mentioned pedagogy and expertise learning. Actually, it is a experiential learning. By mistake, it was written expertise learning, but I will connect with the expertise, how it can be expertise learning also. So don't worry about that. So as immediately, just at the beginning time, I think from Microsoft app, I think Harshita has also already spoken about what is pedagogy. So many of you have replied, what is pedagogy? So meantime, I'm just connecting with my laptop. So till that, I'm going to discuss you a few points which are very important for all of you. And you all know, and you all have experience to do the work in a different method. Pedagogy is nothing. All of you know that pedagogy means art of science and science of art. That means how we can correlate with the science to the art, and how science art subject can be correlated with the science. So that is called pedagogy. In our Hindi language, which we say pedagogy means shastra. In our ancient time also, all the subject used to be called as a shastra. That means pedagogy was there, skill-based learning, practical-based learning. So now that the NEP 2020 has also emphasized more on pedagogical or experiential learning. So all of you have to understand why and how. So when we talked about the pedagogy, it is very important to understand that how science can be taught in artistic way, or integrated with arts, and how art can be integrated with the science. So that's why nowadays in the art subject, when we talk about the political science, historical science, so objective is just to understand in the different perspective. All of you, when you talk about the pedagogy and experiential learning, it is very, very important to all of you should correlate with this. So anyone can tell me about this experiential learning? Already CBSE has conducted many workshop on this, and many of you have already attended the workshop of experiential learning. So pedagogy of experiential learning means what you mean to say. So learning by doing. Yes, Rasmi, ma'am. Very nicely spoke. Tell. Anybody else? Anybody else, please?
Yes, sir, we have responses in the chat box: practical based learning, learning by doing, strategy.
Yeah. I'm just connecting with my laptop, so just it will be easy for all of you to see that something which I wanted to show, because it's experiential learning, and you'll see the picture that will be more better to understand concept.
Sir, if you are facing problems still, it's already 3:43. So if it's a problem, you can maybe send me the PPT and I'll just display from my screen. And you can just let me know whenever you want the slides to be changed.
For all of you, restless throughout the day, night, to help you and providing the free service throughout the country for your betterment of your teaching. So I hope many of you are using it. If you are not using it, you must use it, this app, because this is a really very wonderful app which our teachers are already using, and children have also used this app, so got the benefit of that in term 1, and for term 2 also sample paper has been uploaded, so all of you can start using it. Now I'm coming to the topic, pedagogy of expertise or experiential learning. When I talk about the pedagogy, my main objective was this to
Sir, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see
all right, sir. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coordinating.
Yes, sir.
The objective of this webinar is just experiential approach aimed to making the emotional environment study with students centered. The students have control over their own learning, over the place of learning, method of learning, method of learning, and over the skill they need to utilize for the learning. They are able to evaluate, think critically, make decisions, and master knowledge by constructing it. The teacher can play the role of facilitator. So the teacher felicitates or guide the students and let the child should do it. So learning experience may be cooperative, may be collaborative, or independent, encouraging the students to work together and learn how to question and evaluate evidence rather than accepting truth communicated by their teacher. So I means that objective of this program is to understand and how experiential learning can be the teaching learning process. Now, when we talk about the dimension of learning, knowledge, so millions of the people seen that foreign of foreign of Apple, but Newton was the person who able to ask question why. So I mean to say, if you think and ask WH questions, it will help you to reach to the contextual of the pedagogical content. So pedagogical content of knowledge is a knowledge of discipline, generalized and specific pedagogical knowledge, and pedagogical content, and effective subject teaching. So these are correlated to each other. With the help of one diagram, I would like to show here. Next one.
Sir, tell me this one.
Next. This one.
Okay.
So this is one diagram which is reflecting that pedagogical content knowledge. So as I told you, the knowledge of the discipline, pedagogical content knowledge, then generalized and specific pedagogical knowledge, and specific effective teaching subjects. So all are correlated to this. So finally, outcome is a effective subject teaching. So all these effective subject teaching can be happen when you have a good content in a disciplined manner and with a specific knowledge or in the, of subject as well as specific goal. So this is what a pedagogical context of knowledge is required. Next, please. So when we talk about this, what I am teaching, what I am teaching, whom I teaching, how will I teach it, how will I know it if the students understand or not. So if these four questions will come in mind. Automatically, our mind will start searching it. When our mind will start searching it, so the mind will start searching which theory of learning I should apply. At this moment, when we talk about the theory of learning, so there are 5 theory of learning. The 5 theory of learning is learn from the others, that is called the social and contextual learning. Then experiential learning, behavior learning, cognitive learning, and constructivism or constructive learning. Next, please. So these are the 5 learning. These 5 learning, you can see in the figure, that comes from the behaviors come from the stimulus response. And people ask you if you are able to react it, that is behavior reflection response. And flow of knowledge actually comes from the cognitive what we are teaching in the classroom, or children are learning year-wise classroom, class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So slowly, that is called a flow of knowledge. That is a cognitive learning. Then mental model. So when we think out of the box, start thinking out of the box, already at the age of 7, the child start thinking out of the box, and then his mental development starts working fast. And then the experiential learning happens. Once experiential learning happens, and that happens with the help of social development, also develops and contextual development. Next, one question is there. Let's observe this simple learning cycle. You all might have experience of when you are first time ride this bicycle. Many of you, you might have seen that we generally fall down. Do you agree with me? Or when you are anybody, when you are a small child. Yes, somebody asking, can you show the previous slide, please? So it, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Somebody asked me, yes. Deepika is asking, any question is Deepika Sharma? You fell down? Oh, I'm sorry. So, yes, Deepika Sharma, you want to ask, you are raising the question?
Sir, if there are any questions, we'll take it towards the end, sir. No worries. I'll just keep a check on the questions.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, sorry. So let us observe this simple learning cycle. Next, please. When we start writing the cycle, we automatically open questions are there. What happened when you first decide to learn a ride bicycle? And why? What did you do first? And what is the next? So you might have also seen or experienced that if any child, small child, is riding bicycle, first he put up his pedal, leg in pedal, and then he hold the handles, and he tried to ride. But at the same time, he does not know how to ride it, how to balance his body. He already fell down. So when the child is falling here, so that means he has gained some experience. Do you agree? Yes or no? So the chat box, please keep on responding. So how did the learning happen? Learning happened with the experience. So how did you know that you had mastered it? By self-assessment, when we realize it. So like that, it happens. So when did you begin to ride independently on the road to places? Already we fell down, or we fall down, or we directly start riding also with one effort. Did you improve this every day or every ride? How can you say? How can you say? By experience. And slowly you can start riding faster, then more faster. And you can see that small kids are how beautifully They start riding and turning the bicycle and making the movement. So this is what? This is what called experiential learning, or we can say expertise learning. So expertise learning is not nothing, it is also connected with the experiential learning. Next, please. When we talk about experiential learning, so what is happening here? You can see that first is gain a concrete experience, start riding a bike or cycle, then reflective observation, that it comes in the mind, that what is or what is not working, and then abstract conceptualization, how to improve your next ride, and then active experimentation, that if I can hold on the first wheel, what will happen? So this is what called attempting a new way of riding. See the how many people are how many people are showing the one kind of demonstration of riding bicycle in different way. So that is what, as we go with learning, we'll find out the new way of learning also. That is called experiential learning. So Kolb method is the first. Kolb was the first person who has shown with the activity how to gain knowledge or experience from a skill. So he has given one experimental learning model. That model is actually nothing but just kind of engaging in any activity. Next, please. So you can see this diagram, the Kolb's experimental learning model, which is based on engaging in activity, then reflection on the activity done, and application of my learning, trying out what and testing new skill of ability. So when we start learning more fast, better, and in teacher contest I'm talking about, when we are teaching, first time when we teach, we find something difficult, but slowly, as soon as we'll develop the confidence and we'll start using some technology, we find we can use this method, we can use this method, this method can be better, this illustration of this example can be better. So that is what conceptualization. And once conceptualization will be there, then learn by experience. Yes, right, Neelam Barsa, ma'am, very nicely said. So then reflection of activity done. So this is what a Kolb method is there. Application of the Kolb cycle in this classroom. When we talk about the classroom, you can see that if something is doing, then reflection, thinking, and practice. So overall, we keep on doing, writing in the board, and then asking the children with the question how I'm teaching, then let the thinking process going on, and then we allow the children to practice it. So this process is a classroom teaching, is a more important for a teacher to expertise. Is it okay? Am I audible? Please to
Yes,
anybody?
sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harsha. Next. Now, another example we'll take it. Like suppose you are going to a zoo. When we go in a zoo and learning through observation and interaction with the zoo environment, we see that different type of animals, and in a book what we have seen, do we find some difference? So one man can discover here and experiment here the knowledge of the first hand and experience. Suppose he has never seen any kind of snack, and the snack only he has seen in the book. But if the same snack, if he sees in the zoo, he will feel his experience will be more better. Do you agree? Now more examples are there. Please, so ma'am, next please. Next, please. More examples are here of experiential learning. You can see that riding up a car, similarly playing the game. When the small kids are playing the game in the TV, you can see making the tea, swimming, photography. So all these things are best examples of experiential learning or expertise learning. Now, what is experiential learning pedagogy? When I talk about what is experiential pedagogy, so it's a simplest form. Experiential learning is learning from experience or learning by doing. As one of educator have already saying, yes, learning by doing, learning by observation. Yes, correct. So all these things, experiential education first immerse learner in the experience and then encourage reflection about the experience to develop new skill, new attitude, or new way of thinking. As NEP is also emphasizing that innovative practices we have to use for the science or as a science teacher or any subject teacher. So in a pedagogy, we need to use it innovative practices. So there are methods, there are various kind of method are there. One method I am going to tell you, LAAR method. Anybody has seen, know the LAAR method? Anybody has LAAR? Anybody know? You can write in chat box LAAR.
No, sir. Educators don't have an idea.
Okay. Okay, I'm telling you. Next slide. Next two slides and next. This. See, this is the actually what is LAAR. First L is a learning outcomes. All of you are now knowing that CBSE has made mandatory for each and every chapter should have learning outcomes. When you are making any lesson plan, when you are coming to the classroom, you must have your learning outcomes. So begin with step 1, addressing level 1 by Bloom taxonomy and design suitable linked activity. So linked activity, that means with the learning objective, what activity can be conducted, you must start with this activity, which will attract the children to listen you properly. Then third is assessment. Third A is assessment. So design appropriate, that is linked with the assessment step 1. So AA, then R is a reflective practices, reflective practices. So reflective practices can be either of assessment of gap learning, or assessment reveals attaining the learning outcome, or retesting, reassessment is their process, step 1, step 2, or you can say formative assessment or summative assessment, or we can say here periodic test or summative assessment. So like that, it's a process. So that's why we are adopting 4 steps of assessment: periodic assessment 1, 2, and 3, and best of 2 we already take it, term 1, term 2. So objective is just to adopt this method of 1 to have experiential learning. Next, please. So these 4 steps are there: concrete experience, reflective observation, then abstract conceptualization, and then active experimentation. So in active experimentation, we find something innovation, something new. So that is what we call it's correlated to each other. And with this, now can again concrete experiment experience, then again reflection observation, then again abstract will come. So overall, it's a cycle. We call it circle method. Next, please. Kolb experience style already have displayed here. Now, more elaborate here. Kolb learning style. So suppose you are how we think about things. For example, perception continuum, we can say. So what we do it, first we feel. Then after feeling that, feel to do, then feel to watch, then continuum things by doing, how, then processing, then by processing it will come active experimentation, and by continuing doing we get reflective observation, and then converging and thinking to do, or assimilation, or thinking to watch. These two are also helping us to abstract conceptualization. That is called thinking. So this whole model, next please. This whole model is actually is called learning style. So this is one example I have explained already. You can check it. You can see that. First is, suppose how we do think. So thinking process, how we miss processing is done with the active experimentation by doing. With this active experiment, you can see that there is a one arrow is given left to right. So it reaches to the concrete experience by feeling, then reflective observation. So there are some ingredients are there: feel to do, feel to watch, with thinking and doing, and thinking of watching. So all these things as a process, and with help of this learning happens. Next, please. Now, how diverging feeling, CRO, that means emphasizing the innovative and imaginative approach of doing things, students will be with a better ability to generate ideas and engage brainstorming, who enjoy gathering information, are often interesting in the people of imaginative and emotional art oriented, have excellent group work skill, are open to concrete feedback. Here C means concrete experience, RO means reflective experience. These two are there. So diverging is, that means when we allow some innovative or imaginative approach, like right now I'm doing imaginative approach to discuss the Kolb method. So your concrete experience, your reflective observation will be more good when you engage your brainstorming and enjoy with the gathering information which is roaming in the morning mind, and emotionally and imagination with the excellent group of, let me like-minded people are there, like-minded group or peer group are there. Let them all involve and find out the way and get the idea and make it new. That is what we call goal-based first method. Now, when we talk about second, assimilation. So assimilation means watching and thinking. Again, a abstract conceptualization and reflective observation, RO and RAC. So this kind of learner pulls a number of different observation and throughout into the integrated whole. So that means this type of learner generally do different observation with a different way and do this and compile it. So assimilation means compiling it. And then learning style is more common in information and science and career. So people with the assimilation learning style are less focused, and people are more interested in ideas and abstract concepts. So what we say, the people who are a backbencher generally say sit in backside, they are the people who are assimilating. That means they think that this idea can work, this idea can work. He has written right, he has written something, so I will take it from here and I will take it from here and I will make it my own. So this is what? This is called assimilating of the things. Now, if I talk about third, that is the converging. Converging is doing and thinking based on AC and AE. AC means abstract conceptualization and active experimentation. So this kind of learner, individuals with this learning style are often good at using technology. So they are a smart learner, I can say. So the smart learner use the technology and do some experiment and find out the solution with a different way. Next, please. Fourth is accommodating, that is doing and feeling. So students with the learning style use trials and error. So trial and error method is also sometimes work. When we are doing something, let us try it. And by trial method also, sometimes it works. So they often have a tendency to rely on others. So they are the not only I can say independent, but they are going to join some people. Okay, you are doing, can I also join? So they are accommodating, but their imagination, their interest can also carry some good result. So by active participation. So this is also called concrete experience and active experimentation. Next. So there are 4 stages. I told you, concrete experiment, the learner cannot learn merely by reading. Number 2, reflective observation. This is the second stage when the learner reflects at the situation before forming any opinion. The learner must reflect upon the present by connecting it to his past experience. So this is reflective observation. Third is abstract conceptualization. Third is abstract conceptualization. That means the learner creates theory to explain. The learner creates theory to explain his experiences, in which stages the learner gathered the analyze and information and draw conclusion. So sometimes it may challenge the pre-existing concept. This focus on learning by thinking. Now last stage is the active experimentation. So this is the final stage where the learner applies what he has learned, learning by doing. So actually learning experiential learning have the 4 stages, and these 4 stages when we adopt in our teaching also, then only our teacher can be expert at teaching. And it can also transform to the children, I'm sure, when you do this. More illustration, I will take it here. What are the benefits? So it provides the safe learning, accelerate learning, increase and emphasize on this one. One more above. One more picture is there.
Sir, this one?
Before this.
Before this?
No.
Okay.
और पहले.
Okay, this one, features of experiential learning?
No, और पहले आगे. बहुत आगे
और पहले. Okay.
This.
This one?
So this one.
Okay.
So
okay.
This is actually let's provide a safe learning environment. Then what are the benefits I'm discussing here? Accelerates learning. Is what learning we are doing. We are able to accelerate it and increase engagement level also. When we adopt experiential learning, we generally increase the level of increasing the children, and by involving the children, be able to see the personalized learning also. Some children who are not concentrating, they are able to personalize it. Now, produces also dimension, demonstrative mindset changes. Then exceptionally effective for the retention, and bridge the gap between theory and practice. So experiential learning nothing but learning is to bridge the gap between theory and practical. Next, please. Now, features of experiential learning. So it is based on the principle of learning by doing. So all you know that, all of you have understood what is the experiential learning. So each learner will have a different learning experience. So the learner play a pivotal role in assessing. So it is important, the duty, it's very important for the teachers, for the educators to go to the particular child, particular learning, what the particular child has learned. So then our missionary goals can be achieved. Next, please. I'd like to talk about the SMART goal learning. How many of you have heard about the SMART goal? This is often asked that what is SMART? SMART means nothing. It's have some meaning. S means specific, then measurable, then attainable, then relevant, and time-based. Can anyone tell me what is the what is the meaning of SMART goal setting? With the help of chat box, you can do it. Okay, I'm going to discuss. SMART means first is as it's a very important to have a specific goal. What I'm going to teach. If we have a particular specific goal, and it should be measurable, we should be able to measure. We should not make a goal like I will fly without any effort, without any support. I can fly over. It is not possible. It cannot be measured. We should not make an unmeasurable goal. Then we should be able to achieve, which can be achievable. A child who is a mediocre, a child is a very slow learner, and we make a target of 90%. How it is possible? Not possible. So let it make first 40%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 70%, 60%, slowly. And it should be relevant to the top particular child, and also time-based bond. That means there must be a specific goal to achieve. That's time bound. So that's called SMART goal learning. So we should always have a SMART goal planning. How can we? I just simply explain this with the SMART techniques. That is a measurable to facilitate assessment, achievable can go through the complete learning cycle, and realistic means must not be vague, like understand and realize. And time bound means must be having a time-based learning model time period, like a harmonic assessment. We are keeping in timetable also. The periodic test will be conducted in this one. Periodic half yearly will be conducted in this month. So that is what we call. That's called SMART goal planning. If we also start making a SMART goal planning, it will help us. Some strategies are there, like when we play what I can say chess. Many of you have seen that. People are think when they are playing chess, they sit like this. Do you know why? Why they are sitting? They, by putting the hand in the head, means they are making some strategy. By making some strategy, we need to have some good knowledge and how we can get big victory over our enemy. So teaching this term, it means a set of decisions to choose an approach, method, and techniques that produces by which objectives of teaching are realized in the classroom. So it is a mental model in our head to attain the objectives. Next, please. More. Next, please. One more. Now, some strategy I was talking about. So some strategy can be decided in the context, content, curriculum, or like that. By explanatory, by confirmatory, by constructivism, experiential, metacognition, and flipped class learning. So all these things is going to help you. So all these things can be helpful for your strategy to gain it. So teaching approach for the learning, it must be it is a ideological, or we can say philosophy, that can be frame a teacher centered, not teacher centered, but child centered and objective oriented. So that should be two ways, product and process. So this specific strategy can be adopted with the help of objective and based instruction, differentiation, then evidence-based learning, then brain-based learning or brainstorming teaching, open-ended instruction, inquiry-based teaching or learning, and also inquiry-based teaching having a 5E. Can anyone tell me what are 5E? I'll give a hint. Engage. First is engage. Then explore. Then anybody can tell? Elaborate. Yes. Explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Very good. So this is the 5E, can also inquiry-based learning linked with this one. Now, cooperative learning, we are teaching inductive, deductive methods. These all methods can be helpful for a teacher to approach for the learning and make your effective learning. So at the last, I can say more. Harsha, can go ahead.
Yes, so this one?
No, this I already explained it.
Okay, this one?
This is also explained it.
Okay, okay.
This video, this.
Okay.
So in the last, I can say experiential learning method, which is a outbound training, management games, team building activities, adventurous based learning, outdoor learning activities, drama, art, theater, then simulation based learning, filmmaking, storytelling, creating games, mystery games, service learning. So all these things do reflect, generate, then apply, and apply. These 4 steps of application of doing, reflecting, and then generalizing the things can make a experiential learning, and I'm sure the child can make wonderful experience to learn the things what you are going to teach it. Thank you very much from my side. Any question or any feedback from your side, most welcome.
Okay, so hi everyone. As Sir said, that if there's anything, you all can post in the chat box and Sir can take it from there. So yes, please do go ahead if you have any questions, to ask Sir right now.
I'm sorry, actually, Harsha has given me only 1 day time to prepare it. So I just today morning till 1 o'clock, I think 12 o'clock, I was not going to able to give this presentation. But
sir, it was very, very interesting. And honestly, even I learned quite a lot of things. And there's so many comments in the chat box. My God.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay,
Actually,
sir.
I'm not in my working place. I'm in Tamil Nadu right now. So anyway.
Okay, so I think there are no questions I can see as of now. Let me check.
Okay. So please give your feedback. If any feedback form is there, you can.
Yes, sir. Feedback form we have prepared, sir. We have prepared.
All of you, please give your. I think all 300 participants. Your box was full, eh?
Sir, do you want some feedback right now? Very interesting and innovative session. Interesting session. Thank you, sir. Productive session. Informative session.
No,
My God.
I'm surprising. Your 300 participants are already there within one day.
Sir, exactly.
Anyway, that's good. This is
definitely.
I'm happy that people have gained something, and it is always good to share and learn. Whoever will fill up the form, they will get certificate also. Please fill up the form, and I recommend that all of you should use this homework app. It is a really wonderful app, which is very useful. I'm not just telling that, I'm using it, and that's why I'm telling you. It is my all teachers are using it. When I am also using it, I'm also getting reports and all. So I'm so happy. And I must thank to Mr. Sahil and his team. Thank you, Harsh also, given me opportunity today to speak, to meet all of you. Thank you so much.
It was all our pleasure. By the way, sir, we have one question in the chat box. So
yes,
shall
please.
I? Yes. So sir, Subrata ji is asking, is it necessary to plan some activity for every lesson? Or we can skip activities in some lesson and go by the book?
Yes, who is Rahul?
No, Subrata ji, sir.
Subrata ji, thank you very much for asking this question. At least somebody has raised the question. I'm happy. Actually, see, when we talk about the experiential learning, so any story, any illustration, I told you in the last my PPT that it is not necessary that you can use only one activity. There are many ways to do some experiential learning, like outbound training, anything, any management, game management, or team building game, or adventurous based learning, or outdoor games, what you can go in the playground also, you can teach it. Drama, art, theater, filmmaking, storytelling, creativity games, anything. If you correlate the topic, it will become more interesting. That's why we should also try to, whatever we are teaching, connect with some activity. When children will be engaged, or we can say child-centered teaching will be there, more learning outcomes will be there, more effective teaching will be there. That is called expertise learning.
That's a wonderful answer, sir. So, sir, we have one other question from Dhananjay ji. How can assessment be done after every lesson?
Assessment can be done in the many way. You can see that if you have given one task to get this objective, if the children will be able to get the objective by showing the demonstration also, you can note down, yes, children have demonstrated, take one picture, that is outcome. Not necessary to take pen paper test.
Definitely, sir.
Right?
Sir, and Rosemary is asking another question.
Yes.
So what kind of activity we can give in English subject? Any idea?
In English subject, very good. There are art, drama, then team building, classroom activities. Suppose a teacher is teaching a story, and in story four characters are there. Let the 4 students should come in the classroom and make them, assign them as the character role. Let them read the topic, let the particular character, and let them react. And somebody should ask the question, somebody could explain it. That is the way involving the activity. And see, you have to only facilitator. You don't need to teach. You have to be facilitator. You have to be just observer and reflector. Thank you.
Very well answered, sir. Thank you for that enlightening response. So, sir, we have another question actually from Yasmin ji. So how to maintain discipline when we are engaging our learners in something creative?
See, discipline automatically comes when the child will be given some task. What happens when we don't give any task to the children? Then they divert themselves. But once you give the task to the child, beta, you have to do this job, then he will automatically connect and become a discipline and start doing that, because now his brain will active. Once the brain will be stimulated to the particular goal, he will maintain the discipline. So discipline can be started now. That's why it is more, CBSE is also focusing more that please go with experiential teaching. Make some art integration. Make the classroom outside the classroom, not in four wall of the classroom. So when we do all these things together, sometimes in the classroom, sometimes outside the classroom, sometimes in the playground, sometimes in the sports ground. So anything if you want to teach it, you can do it. Suppose, for example, I'm telling you, suppose you are going in to play the volleyball, and the same time physics teacher is there, and physics teacher want to so that at which angle the shot will be go more. So what will be the projectile motion? What will be the distance covered? At which angle it should be dropping out? At what force he should apply to give the more things? So all these things are correlated. If the child will be given this thoughtful process, the children will engage and they will maintain the discipline.
Definitely, sir. So, sir, since it's already 4:33, we'll take just one last question. Is it okay with you?
Yeah.
All right, sir. All right. So, sir, Aruna ji is saying that we all know that the learning abilities of students are very different. So, how to manage that in the time limit given to complete the syllabus?
This is the very important. I'm telling you, when we engage some children, those who are slow learner or different categories, when we engage some activities, that activity can help the particular child and equalize the learning. That is what called learning outcomes. So it is necessary that we should make our planning in such a way that in a time bound, that's why I told you smart goal, smart planning. So smart planning is actually nothing but just planning in such a way that my syllabus should be also completed and I should be able to assess the child in a proper way. What is my objective? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I think we have answered almost all the questions today, and there is
somebody is writing that this is the micro homework is only for 10th. No, it is not only for 10th, it's for all classes.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Yes.
Somebody are writing here only for 10th class, so I'm answering that one.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. No worries. So, before you allow you to take your leave for the day, we have a short, a vote of thanks prepared for you. And yes, so we'd like to start with that. So, a very well said quote by Sir APJ Abdul Kalam was, "All birds find shelter during the rain, but the eagle is the one who avoids the rain by flying above the clouds." And as spoken by Sir, it's the people who dare to be different, like you, sir, who dare to fly high and dare to take initiatives every time in their field. And through our webinar series, we too want educators to be the first ones to try out new things, experiment, and get the wholesome experience. We really hope that someday, somewhere, the knowledge our team ought to provide today will be useful for all of you tomorrow. On behalf of the Homework App team and myself and all the educators here, I would like to present my warm gratitude to Mr. Raghavendra, who took out the necessary time out from his busy schedule and graces with his immense knowledge on the topic of pedagogy, which is a very, very important concept in the psychology of a child. Okay, and also contributing to the learning and development. A warm regards to you, sir. And personally, very, very, very great thank you to you to coming, on this particular platform and giving out your time. And I know you are very, very busy, but yes, it means a lot to us, sir. And we really hope to connect with you again.
Thank you, Asa. Thank you very much.